Hey, good morning, everyone. It's meteorologist Justin Stapleton. Time's 4:45. I want to jump on the air here a little before the news this morning, give you an update on what's happening with the weather here. As you might expect, if you've been woken up already this morning, you've probably said, wow, what's coming through? Well, we've got some heavy rain that's been pressing across a good chunk of the area this morning so far. So let's jump into a couple of tighter spots here and get you a sense of what we're seeing. Most of what has fallen so far has been upwards of around 3 to 4 inches. Both of these boxes that you see are aerial flood advisories that just popped up over the last 20 to 30 minutes in response to those 3 to 4 inches that have been moving through. So let me put a stop on the radar here and we'll jump into a couple of areas just to get you a better sense of what we're seeing up on the north side now. In particular, if you've been woken up by some of the heavy rain, we're now starting to see things right across Bush Airport towards Aldine. You can see Humboldt 59, and this includes areas around Kingwood that have already picked up upwards of 5 to 7 inches of rain, especially the last 2 days that have been pounded pretty heavy in many locations. So Parkwood Estates, Kinwood up towards, there's the East Tex, over across Highway 8, right? So over to the Beltway. If we slide on up towards the 45 from Westfield to Bammel, up towards Bainbridge, we've got Covington Bridge, Louetta Glen, you get the idea, Dove Meadows, and then sliding over here as well. This is Grand Parkway. There's 99 underneath all of that heavy rain right now. So Bellicera over towards Klein as well, and then into the Tomball area across 249. So let me widen this out. We do have lightning turned on to this so far. This is the first batch that's moved on through. Now, what's interesting about this is that over the last 1 to 2 hours that we saw most of this heavy rain as it came through, it just sort of dumped right on top of much around Bel Air, and especially here at the KPRC2 studios where we picked up close to 3.5 inches of rain. These aerial flood advisories that are out there go until 6:15. So this is the first one. Notice that does include places like Bel Air, as we said, just outside of Sugar Land, so Sharpstown in particular, and then definitely the south part of Beltway 8, and then a little further to the south towards 288. That one also till 6:15. That is for areas around Brazoria County. So that's what we're looking at so far. Now, the whole area is under a flash flood watch until 9 o'clock tonight, because we're anticipating that we're going to see more rain with this as well. So let's jump into a couple of other areas in particular that we're seeing. So from Hillcrest over towards Chocolate Springs out to Liverpool, we're looking at some pretty heavy rain that's been moving through up around Peterson Landing. And as we slide a little further off towards the north and east here as well, so right across Highway 6, we're talking about Algoa over towards Santa Fe. So heads up if you're in the Santa Fe area, and this will slide northward up around Dickinson and then League City, so around 45. All right, let me back this out just a bit so you get a better sense of what we're seeing. So we do have more rain coming in from the coast here as well. And this is similar to what we were talking about yesterday morning. What Anthony was mentioning last night, Caroline, in the afternoon, is that boundary is still out there. And as long as that continues to be in play, we're going to keep this heavy rain around for a good chunk of the area and a good chunk of the morning and in towards parts of our afternoon. So a couple of other spots in particular. Let me zoom in here right across parts of Liberty County. That's where it looks like we're seeing a pretty decent downpour and some pretty good lightning too. I can tell you, as we were coming in this morning, right around 3:15, we had a decent amount of lightning that was coming in with that heavy rain. So that includes Kennefic over to Dayton. As you get in towards Liberty, that's right across Highway 90 and 146 over towards FM 321 as that slides through, and then Highway 90 pushing down over across parts of Lake Houston. So Kingwood, right? This is the big bullseye we were seeing on Monday. And then we've got from over to Atascocita, sliding on down towards the North Beltway, as I mentioned a few minutes ago. So that's what we're seeing on the north side. Now, if you look across parts of downtown, right now it's mainly just fairly sloppy out there. That's a good chunk of what we've got. None of this is super heavy, but it's certainly inconvenient if you're going to be traveling. If you're just up and you're like, hey, I got to get out the door by 5 a.m., well, guess what? Give it some extra time today. We've got crews all over. Our Rochelle Turner is out in a storm tracker. Of course, our traffic expert, Justina Latimer, out in a storm tracker. One of our photojournalists, Cesar Martinez, is out there as well. They're kind of all over the place. So we'll talk to them coming up here in about 10 minutes at 5 o'clock and get a better sense of what we're seeing. But if you're anywhere from Magnolia Park, Harrisburg, Pecan Park, there's Gulf Freeway, there's the South Loop, there's Wayside and Mayfair, Gulf Crest, that area in particular, looking at some, we'll call it moderate rain at this point. But still the heavy stuff that's fallen now on the south side from Brookside Village. There was Arcola you saw a second ago. Minitex over towards Alameda and then sliding down 288. So kind of messy forecast expected for the rest of the morning here. Let's jump into parts of Brazoria County from Iowa Colony over towards Arcola. That's Houghton down to Juliff. Same thing on 288, basically up and down. I've got one of our crews out on 288 right now, so we'll get a better sense of what it's looking like on the roads over the next couple of hours. So I'm going to put this back out and I want to show you just how much much rain we've seen with this so far. And we'll talk more about this coming up during the show as well. But in the last 3 hours, if you take a peek at that, look at some of these totals. These totals are pretty impressive. And in fact, we jump in a little tighter here. Let me show you right across the studio. We picked up just about 4 inches of rain, and all of that fell probably within about 90 minutes. It was really coming down at a pretty good clip. Other areas now not picking up as much rain, but a pretty hefty batch that was sliding its way through. Same thing as you get south of Manville. We saw about 3.5 inches, just about 2 inches. And of course, over towards Manville, for example, right at about 3.5 to 4 inches. So that's all fallen just in the last 2 hours that we've had this morning so far. So a good indication that there is a lot of rain that is coming down. So certainly make sure that you're careful out there. So let's do a quick recap. Let me switch back over to the radar just so you get a better sense of what you're seeing if you are headed out there. And I'll turn off the watches and warnings for now, just so you can see the radar at its best. And then if we run this over the last, let's say we'll go 3 hours on this here. I just want to give you a sense of what it looked like. So this is what we were seeing by about 2, 3 o'clock this morning. It was just rolling through. None of this is really slowly moving through. It's moving at about 20, 25 miles an hour. So even though we do have those aerial flood advisories that are out, we're not talking about substantial or significant flooding. Although I have been checking out some of the TxDOT cameras, and we have seen a few areas that look like they're taking on a little bit of high water, especially the curbside lanes. So if you know that spot in your neighborhood that always sort of floods when you get a big heavy downpour, just watch out if you're headed out there, especially before sunrise here the next hour or so. So let's put this on a stop, and then we'll go around to a couple of different spots before we'll take a break coming up close to the top of the hour. And then myself, Owen, Sophia, and of course Justina, Rochelle, and all the rest of our crews will join you for KPRC2 News this morning at 5. So a couple of spots out towards the Woodlands and Tomball. It's a nice little batch right here between Tomball, Northampton, the Preserve, and Charterwood. And this is anywhere from, Bellicera. There's Klein, if you're in and around the Klein area, Bridgestone, over to Bainbridge Estates. There's the Weta Road, so that's going to be traveled. A lot of travel on there as well. There's Grand Parkway. There's 99. And then, of course, you've got 249, the Tomball Parkway there, out back off to the west. So that's one of the spots where we're seeing some of the heavier rain. And then, of course, we've got some of that heavy rain that also continues to slide across areas right around Bush Airport. We've seen the cancellations that they had from all of the problems with the Microsoft update that we were dealing with last week, still affecting some Delta flights. This probably is at least going to get some of the early flights backed up for a little bit as they start to work their way out. So if you do have a, let's say, 7, 8 a.m. flight, just check it this morning and make sure you give yourself some time to get up to the airport too. So right around Humboldt, Tascasita, Kingwood, if you all have been woken up with some of this heavy rain that's coming down, this will start to move through in the next 10 to 15 minutes and should be out of here after that. Same thing over towards parts of Liberty County. There's Liberty out to Dayton. And then let's go over to the east side for our east side friends here. Anywhere from around South Houston, there's Pasadena, over to Pecan Park, Harrisburg, and then it's just slide out 225 out towards Golden Acres, Deer Park. And then, of course, as you look over from there to Lomax, there's 225 as it makes its way up with 146. We're talking about right around Morgan's Point to LaPorte, down to Shore Acres and Red Bluff as well. So watch out for some of this heavy rain as it continues to slide across the area. As we mentioned, there's more coming. We will see more of this reload as we get into the afternoon hours. Most of what we're seeing out there right now, and in fact, let me widen this out just a little bit just to get you a better sense of what we're seeing. And I'm going to change the radar real quick before we jump onto the show here, just to see exactly what we can see from the radar out across parts of Central Texas as well. So it's all about where exactly is our boundary set up. And if we put this in the last hour here and get a better sense, you see everything just continuing to pull up from the south. And so we've got all this heavy rain down here across parts of the south coast. All of that is going to work its way up towards the upper Texas coast, which means we will likely be impacted by that as well. And this whole pattern just continues. Yesterday out towards Austin, the Highland Lakes area as well, around the Llano River and the Guadalupe were both over their banks. They have slowly started to back off, which is certainly good news. But they got a lot of rain, almost 8 to 10 inches out across parts of the hill country there. And they've missed the last couple big storm systems, so they needed that rain for sure. But If we tighten a little tighter on this here, notice that this first heavy wave is moving through. What we're going to be tracking as we go through the next 2 hours to 3 hours, so through basically the morning show, will be this. We'll see this heavy batch sliding along the coast, and it's just a question of how fast does that work its way towards, let's say, Port Lavaca, Palacios, Bay City, into our friends down at Matagorda Bay, and then eventually as that slides inland, what more does that create in terms of just kind of popping new showers and thunderstorms? I think there's a good chance that we will likely see some of that. So let me switch back over to the local radar here, and we'll get a better sense of what we're going to be seeing. So as we said, we've got the crews that are getting ready. We've got plenty of crews out there, including our own Rochelle Turner, our traffic expert Justina Latimer, that also will be out there as well. And we've got Sophia and Owen and myself. We will be joining you at the top of the hour here, get you a better sense of what we're seeing. But it's just been very sloppy. This next batch, and pretty good linear effect of those storms too. So all of that is going to be lifting northward over the next 1 to 2 hours. So we're not done just yet, but still right now, quick look at what we're seeing from Liberty County up towards the north side, over towards parts of Woodlands, Tomball Spring, Bush, Tascasita, Kingwood. You were in some of the heavy rain at this hour. Most of what we're seeing on the west side is getting a bit of a break. So areas around Bel Air, Sharpstown, right here at the station, we're at Southwest and Gessner. We're getting a bit of a break too. That's certainly good news. So from there to Fort Bend County, everybody looks like we should be A-OK. And then of course, as you go from Pearland down towards Manville, all of this heavy rain continues to slide up to 88. So we'll certainly keep a watch on this. So as I mentioned, we're going to take a break here as we get ready for the top of the hour. It is myself, Owen, Sophia, Justina Latimer, and of course all of our crews out and about in the storm trackers. We will keep you up to date and get you out of the house safely this morning. Please be careful if you do have to head out. I'll have a lot more on this as KPRC2 News at 5 starts just minutes away.